This site has an impressive planning achievement, and the council asked for an additional unit. Let's go!
Check it out.
And how are your build costs looking like?
I mean, as everyone would say, they could be.
With the high price points, are there similar comps in the area that are selling at that?
There are, yeah. So
So were there any challenges on this site, like during the construction phase?
yeah, there are a couple of interesting ones. So the most interesting, probably, we came to demolish the annex that had been here previously, and we found a.
Planners might use the word overdevelopment sometimes, but not in this case. You've managed to achieve all of this, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, thank you. No, so it was quite contentious because it was quite an attractive house, but it wasn't protected. We're not in the conservation area,
Yeah.
so.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's video. Today we are in Streatham, South London, and we're about to visit Chris Gwilliam from Earlswood Homes to see their new build scheme of 11 flats and 3 houses. It's nearly finished, but it's still a construction site. But what's interesting about this one is the quantum of units they were able to achieve through planning on a relatively small plot size. So excited to see this one. Let's go! There it is! And there's Chris. Hey Chris. Hey, how you doing? You alright?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, how are you?
Good. Yeah, not too bad.
This is it.
Good.
Abbotswood Place.
This is it. Wow, this is impressive. So Chris, thanks for having us here. What is your project? What is this site? What are you building here?
So this is 14 units. We've got 3 houses, 2 large semi-detached houses, just over 2,000 square foot, 5-bed house, which are the ones over at the end here. We've got 2 blocks of flats, so we've got 11 flats, 1 and 2 beds in between them. And at the back we've got a bungalow as well, which we snuck in to the rear. Yeah.
What I found really impressive is how you've been able to, I don't like to use the word cram in
We
quite
prefer
a
the
large
word optimise, I think.
You've
for better
optimised the
use.
scheme, but I guess planners might use the word overdevelopment sometimes, but not in this case. You've managed to achieve all of this, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, thank you. No, so we went through a whole planning process with Lambeth Council. So they're very pro development in general, but they want to see as much in terms of numbers of units on a site as they can get. So we actually had a pre-planning application meeting them to start with for 5 large houses, and they actually pushed us towards getting a larger number of units. So originally we didn't have a bungalow in the back. We just had some large gardens for the houses, and they pushed us towards getting this extra unit, which from our side was fantastic.
You don't often hear that.
No. So the downside is we're into affordable housing contributions because we're over 10 units, but it's ended up with a very sort of dense scheme, but with some decent outside space as well.
Yeah, very impressive. Yeah,
Thank you.
So before we go in and have a look at the scheme, tell us a bit about you. How did you get into property development? And then also tell us how you found this site as well.
Yeah, sure. So
what's Earlswood Homes set up as well? If you can tell us that.
Yeah.
Start off with you first.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so my background is always interested in property. I actually went to university studying architecture. I then went into architecture for a while. I got a little bit fed up of the lack of money, for want of a better word. I then went into working for a couple of London-based developers quite a long time ago now. Back in 2008, I was working for a sort of regional-sized developer who will remain nameless for the moment. They went bust. They were built on a mountain of debt, as everyone was back then. I was then scrabbling around for jobs. I ended up thinking, right, I can probably call on my background as an architect. So I set my own architecture and planning consultancy up, which was difficult back in deep depths of recession, and no one had any money. So I was calling friends and family, anyone I could get to do extensions or anything. Anyway, I built that company up. Ended up with 12 staff. And while I was doing that, I met Jason Vince, who's the group managing director of Earlswood Homes.
Shame we couldn't get him on today, but
So he set Earlswood Homes up himself in 2006. We worked alongside each other. He was my client for about 7 or 8 years. On the side, we did a few option deal flips, so we got planning permission and traded those sites on. I then sold my business in 2019, and I'd always wanted to go into property development with the idea that I could be designing my own units as well, which is always something that appealed to me. So Jason and I ended up having a conversation, and he said, look, why don't you start up a sister company to Earlswood Homes, it's Earlswood Homes Thames region, so we're London and Berkshire, Buckinghamshire and Oxfordshire based, so I'll be covering those areas now. So that's what we did back in 2020. We sort of set that up. We then had the pandemic, which is interesting. So since then built some things, planning permission a few sites, traded those on where we can. But we are here now.
Okay, great. And so you're one of the regional directors, is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
You're also shareholder.
Yeah, I'm the shareholder director. So there's one other guy who does the same as me, based over in Suffolk. Earlswood Homes has its core brand and office based in Reigate in Surrey. So historically, everything's not Surrey based, but we're sort of branching out and slowly covering South East England essentially. I'm now looking for sites which I live in Oxford now. I used to live in London, Battersea down the road. But I'm now looking for sites which are close to home, so I don't have to travel so much. But this one's been a long time coming. We got planning permission for this about 2 years ago.
That's still a relatively smooth process.
We've been, it probably helps my background. I can see what is feasible in terms of planning. So we don't, you get some guys who are probably pushing for too much on the site, and we sort of view it from the other side. We'll get a sensible scheme together, liaise with the planners, and hopefully get something that's kind of really optimising it out.
Have a little look around the site.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let me give you some.
Yeah.
Great. There you go. Thank you.
Great. Where shall we start?
I think we'll just have a bit of a wander around, see it from the street.
Yeah. Okay.
This is obviously the main elevation from Abbotswood Road. So we've got 3 blocks essentially. We've got a pair of semi-detached houses here, a block of 6 flats and a block of 5 flats. So previously on the site, there was a large house. It was quite contentious because it was quite an attractive house, but it wasn't protected. We're not in the conservation area, so we got consent to demolish that. We had a lot of objections from neighbours, which is what you'd expect. It's a nice area, got some large detached houses around here. People want to maintain their privacy and their look at the street. But we got through a contemporary but traditionally formed scheme, good quality materials, a lot of dialogue with the council to get a design that they liked. I think we succeeded really. We've got traditional materials, brick and roof tiles. We've got some quite modern elements as well. So we've got zinc cladding to the dormers, for example. High quality aluminium windows. It's we managed to get planning permission for the first time. It's worked well.
Yeah, that's what I meant about the smooth process. It seems like from, I guess, you said option agreement to planning to like getting on site. It seems like it was relatively easy. It's just kind of flowed from one to the other.
I mean, it seems now like it was an easy process. At the time, it seemed to drag on. But we
tell us about the option. How did you what was that process like?
Yeah, so we're like every developer, we've got a lot of agents who we're in contact with. We got sent this site from an agent. He had essentially just knocked on guy's door who lived here. There's a large house on here before. He was interested to sell, so we had a meeting. He had a few other offers on the table. I think the thing that enabled us to convince him was we showed a sketch scheme at the time. We really explained what we were going to do with it. I think he was still invested in the area. He's got family around here. He didn't want something that was going to go on and him to be a bit disappointed with in the future. And his relations say, "Why on earth did you sell that?" And it's horrible monstrosity in place. Yeah. So that really helped. So we got an option agreed. It was an 18-month option with a 6-month appeal clause. We pretty much straight away went in for a pre-planning application. A lot of liaison with the council, especially over affordable housing. Originally they wanted some on-site affordable housing units, and with the viability assessment we managed to argue that down. So we had a contribution which we paid before we started on site. So in terms of option process, it was pretty smooth, really.
Did you have to pay a premium for the option?
We did. So it was more than market value, but obviously less than the site is worth with the planning consent. So it would have been probably too much of a risk for us to buy it outright, because we just didn't know exactly what we were going to get on there. So by using an option agreement, we're obviously able to sort of mitigate our risk. So the landowner wins; they get a little bit more money at the end of the day. Yeah. We mitigate our risk, but we still were able to make an okay profit out of it.
So there was just one detached house here, but with lots of front garden, back garden.
Yeah, it was. So there's a big driveway here. There's a big 4,000 square foot detached house on there with a little annex at the back. There was also a little 2-story, 2-bed attached house which they'd use as an annex as well. So it's quite a big site for London terms. It's half an acre, and there a big garden to the rear. So it was a very underutilised site in terms of London. It was a bit of an obvious one that could be developed. So the difficulty was it was an attractive house. So we had a lot of opposition locally from that, but hopefully we put something back that's in keeping and maybe starting to like.
Definitely. Okay, well let's continue round. So Chris, we're around the back of the site, if you want to call it the back. I guess it's back, right? So this is the bungalow development, right? Which is another house.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So this is this Hoadley Road, which is sort of rear of the site. So this is the extra unit essentially that the council wanted us to add in to get the housing numbers boosted up. We've got a 3-bed bungalow here. You can see at the rear as well. We've really utilised the site by coming out at ground floor, and we've got a stepped extension to the addition at the rear of the upper flats. So we've really
maxed out.
Every square foot we can do. We've still got good areas for gardens at the rear, so it's not obvious at the moment, but each of the flats have good 15 to 20 square metre gardens. The big houses have pretty large gardens, again by London standards. There'll be nice communal garden area here, communal bike shed, that sort of thing. Yeah. You have off-street parking for the bungalow only. So the flats, we're just going to get it. It's London sites, pretty standard these days. Pretty anti-car.
Yeah. And the flats, they all have amenity spaces?
They do, yeah. So you can see, these are all private terraces at the top. Yeah. And then at the rear, we've got some garden spaces. So we can maybe go and have a look at one of those.
Yeah.
But they're lovely spaces. You got some nice views as well.
Yeah. So what's the projected GDV looking like at the moment?
So we've had it valued up at 10.8 million. So we've got the 2 houses are going to be on for 1.95-ish. And then we've got a range of pricing from like 450 up to 700,000 for the flats. Bungalows is around 900,000. So it's a decent sized scheme for us. It's quite prestigious. Earlswood Homes, this one, it's a bit of a flagship development really.
Wow. Okay. And how are your build costs looking like?
I mean, as everyone would say, they could be. We'd like them to be as cheap as possible, but
Yeah.
it's. We're probably building this for about £260 a square foot.
Wow. Okay.
That's not including professional fees and all that sort of thing. But yeah, it's. Yeah, we're pretty good at commercially getting good deals. We've got long-standing relationships with lots of suppliers, so we can buy pretty well. Again, same with contractors. We've known a lot of contractors for a long time, so they're happy to work on a price for us that benefits, I suppose, because they know they're going to get extra work in the future as well.
Yeah, that's really good. So that's leaving you guys a healthy margin in this.
Yeah,
Mostly.
we should make a decent amount. It's not probably as profitable as when we first looked at it a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. With bill cost inflation, finance costs have gone up. We've got a development loan on this. Thankfully, it's linked to base rate, so that's dropped over the course of the last sort of 9 months with the interest rate drops. But yeah, it's it will turn as a healthy profit. So something it will be worth doing. Yeah.
Okay. And who is the lender on this?
It's UTB.
UTB.
United Trust Bank.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually the first time we've used them. They've been excellent. So we've used a range of funders in the past. We do a lot with Close Brothers. Barclays we used to do a lot with. They sort of pulled out the market a little bit, but UTB have been really good. I'm really impressed. So it gave us some decent terms. Been happy with them.
Right, should we continue the tour?
Yeah, let's do it.
Which one can we go into?
We can have a little look in Block D first, which is a bit of a shell, but it can show you that. So we're using timber frame construction. It's probably a good example. Yeah, to see how that works. Right here.
What's the construction? It looks like SIPS panels.
Yeah. So it's a structural timber frame. We've got SIPS panels in fills here, as you can see. We've got posi joists at the top, which are great to let services run through. These we can get the ceiling nice and high. As you can see, it's a 2.9 metre high ceiling height in here. This is an interesting one as well. So for the sustainability requirements for Lambeth, we've had to put a green roof on top of this and some PV panels as well. So we've got a very deep substrate here, 150 millimetres. So fully loaded, it's about 200 kilograms per square metre. So it's had to be really designed well to withhold all that weight. So it's a nice big unit. This actually at the moment is under offer. We've had this from a direct inquiry earlier this year, so we're hopefully be exchanging in the next few weeks on this one.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
So this is sort of phase 2 of the development as well, because we had this area to start with for use for material storage and getting access to the other of the unit. So we've only started on this really probably about 2 or 3 months ago. But it's coming well.
But being SIPS construction, I presume it was relatively quick to go.
That's the beauty of it. So this if we'd have built it traditionally, we'd probably still be on site for another 6 weeks or so. The great thing about the timber frame system is you can get weather tight pretty quickly, much more quickly than if we were doing with traditional builds. So we can start coming in with first fix and plasterboarding probably a good sort of 6 to 8 weeks sometime ahead of where we would have been with the traditional build.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. And what is this actual space that we're standing in?
So this is an open plan living kitchen dining area. So you have a kitchen back here, an island here. These are actually coming out. This is a hangover from a previous kitchen design. Just a big nice open space, big sliding doors here. And then back here we have 3 bedrooms, so we've got 1 family bathroom, one of the bedrooms with an ensuite. Got some garden space to the rear, parking space at the front of it. It'd be a great flat. The other thing as well on this one, which is interesting, this is a disabled access of flat, so it's part M3. So we've had to design passageways and bathrooms all to the correct sizes, so it's going to feel really nice, big airy, big open spaces as we walk through.
Okay, cool. Right. What's next?
Should we go in Block A?
Yeah. Where are we here?
So these will be eventually the gardens to the back of the semi-detached houses. So yeah, they're going to be landscaped, lovely, lots of area for families to live.
Yeah.
These are going to be quite prestigious, very high-end units. Pushing up the price points of nearly £2 million. So very high-end finishes, plus some metal tiles.
Wow.
Miele appliances, engineered oak floor, large format 12 tiles. It's all super high spec stuff. So these are gonna look fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, with the high price points, are there similar comps in the area that are selling at that?
There are, yeah. So all around, really. I mean, most of the surrounding properties are big detached houses. So some of them are up to 3 million, 3.5 million that they've sold for. So we've been advised probably by about 7 agents now. This pricing is pretty much bang on.
Right.
So, proofs in the pudding. Obviously,
Yeah.
you try and sell them for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's for the houses, right?
The houses, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So flats obviously not on it.
No, yeah. Okay. On this development, how come you didn't take it yourself? How come you didn't set up?
Yeah, it's a good question.
And how come you teamed up with Earlswood?
Yeah, so when I sold my architecture business, my initial idea was actually to go on my own. And I actually found a small site to build 2 houses. For whatever reason, that didn't quite work out. It fell through basically. In the whole time I was speaking to Jason, who's a friend as well as a colleague, and he came to me with this idea about setting up a separate sort of entity to Earlswood Homes. And the thing that really attracted me about that is, Earlswood Homes has quite substantial financial resources, whereas me, when I was going to be setting up my own, I was very limited in the sort of scale of projects I could do. So it really attracted me, being able to go off and do projects of this scale. So the first one I did with Jason was 9 units, 9 flats in Streatham. Strange enough, not that we only build in Streatham. And it was a project which, if I'd have been on my own, it would have been impossible. I wouldn't have had the funds to be able to do that. So that, coupled with his background, relationships with suppliers, so I'm being able to buy materials more cheaply and everything else, build costs lower, finance costs lower, it just works really well. So it's enabled me to kind of jump several levels in terms of the developments I'm doing, still have a decent shareholding within them as well. So it works out well.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's like someone else to talk to as well. If you're on your own, it can be difficult sometimes. But I've got a team of guys in the office. If I've got any issues, whether it's planning or construction wise, I can sort of bounce ideas around. And that, if I was on my own, it would have been me scratching my head or going out and trying to find some information somewhere. So it's really progressed my experience and my knowledge vastly, to be honest, the last few years.
Good to know. Everyone's got a different background, different story, so it's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so let's look into. Is it this one we're going to?
Yeah.
We'll have a look. Presume we're in the kitchen, dining.
Correct.
Area.
Yeah. So big open plan kitchen, dining area. Got, as I said before, the large format tiles running all the way through here, right to the front. Have a nice big island here. Inset kitchen units here with surrounds. And a nice dining area at the back. So this is a really spacious feeling unit. Lovely garden to the rear as well with views out. Nice and light.
Is this traditional build or is it also SIPs?
Yeah, so the whole lot has been done in structural timber with SIPs panels. So for same reasons before, we were able to get inside the units much more quickly than we would have been able to otherwise.
And is that? I presume it is a bit more expensive, but you're saving on time.
Correct. Yeah. So there's slightly more expensive, but the big benefit is just speed, really. So. One, we can get the units for sale more quickly. Secondly, our interest payments are reduced because we're not on site quite as long. So we find it helps very well. And another thing that we like about it is, it's one less headache in terms of a trade. So essentially the structural shell goes up and it's one contractor doing it in terms of, steel work, everything. So, it's less management time, enables us to concentrate on some of the finer details of it.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, let's continue.
Our living room, so you can see we've got a really nice coppered ceiling detail around here. It's going to be lit with LED strips, so you've got a nice backlit feel to it.
Yeah.
Engineered oak flooring in here. So yeah, it's all very high end. Nice sort of neutral colour scheme. So we've got Farrenball elephant's breath paint on the walls.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to look great. There's some nice lighting, some nice pendants with chandeliers.
Yeah. That's cool.
Really nice solid oak staircase going in, as well as some a cool wrought iron balustrade. Quite funky design. Yes, it's going to look great when it's all done.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see the underfloor heating's all just gone in.
Yeah, just gone in. Yeah, so we've got to put a latex screed over top of this, and then final floor finishes. The whole development's got underfloor heating. We've got a radiator inside. I hate radiators. We did development with everything's air source heat pump these days, pretty much. To comply with sustainability regulations. We did one with some special low surface temperature radiators, and they're just the ugliest things. So since then we just thought, no, we'll just go all out and underfloor throughout.
So you've got screed coming on top of this.
Yeah, so liquid screed on this, and then we've got our final floor finish, which in the bedrooms is carpet, and we've got underfloor heating, so tiles in this bathroom here.
Yeah.
Come through here, we've got our principal bedroom with walk-through wardrobe. Yeah, nice long suite. Again, we've got the same nice high ceilings with a coffered ceiling detail.
Yeah.
We've got some lovely, really lovely joinery going in here as well. So we're going to have some nice wood panelled wardrobes here, and in here we've got a nice glass sort of display cabinet you can show off all your smart shoes and your watches and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's going to look great.
Yeah. I can see you're really pushing these attention to detail things like the coffered ceiling, the joinery, the underfloor heating, and
I mean, we all our developments are bespoke. They're between generally about 5 to sort of 25 units. So we're not big house builder, basher style. Just build them cheaply, sell them cheaply. We look at everything really, really deeply in terms of design and getting the right materials and the right sort of finish. Especially in these units here, we're going to go all out on them. I think that's something that sets us apart from some other competitors as well. Who come around in Earlswood property, and they really are sort of cut above some of the stuff that's on the market at the moment.
Yeah, no, definitely looks good.
Yeah, I think it's good.
So the whole the structural joists and everything can handle the weight of the screed.
Yeah,
it's designed in advance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the structural timber frame company, Target Timber company we use, they have an in-house structural engineer. So they do the whole thing from top to bottom. So they will, we will tell them we're putting on certain floor finishes. They'll allow for those loadings. Similar with the green roof. They've had to allow those structural loadings everywhere. So there's no danger of it moving or falling down.
Okay. Just out of interest, why the screed on top and not?
It's just to give it a nice flat surface. You find sometimes, I think, these are carpeted.
Yeah.
So you sometimes don't get an even distribution of heat, so you get hot and cold patches.
Right. Okay.
So it's especially true. You'll see we're doing in the flats. We're doing electric underfloor heating mats in the upper flats.
Okay.
Which has avoided us using external air source heat pumps. We're using a special internal heat pump, which has only been around for the last year or so.
Oh, wow.
And that works with electric underfloor heat mats. So similar there, that's to avoid any damage to those heating mats.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Right. Yeah. Where to next?
Let's go into one of the blocks of flats.
Yeah. Okay. After you.
The layout
Typical. It started raining.
Pouring rain. At least we had a bank holiday weekend with sun.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Talk to me.
Yeah, so going to block the flats now.
Okay.
So were there any challenges on this site, like during the construction phase?
Yeah, there are a couple of interesting ones. So the most interesting, probably, we came to demolish the annex that had been here previously, and we found a huge swimming pool underneath it, which had been covered over. So
wow.
Straight away, we had to give our engineers a call and work out how that's going to affect foundation and so on, because it's directly underneath really where that bungalow is. So we ended up having to fill that with a lot of crushed concrete. There was some changes to the foundation and so on. So that was a bit of a surprise. It was sort of pulled the floor up and saw a sort of 2 metre deep hole. What's that? So that was interesting. And then the other one we had, which again was a bit of a surprise, we pulled up an outbuilding on the boundary over there, and underneath there was a manhole which wasn't marked on any of Thames Water's utility searches or anything else. And it turns out that the manhole should have been about 6 metres over the other side of the boundary. So that manhole ended up being right on the corner of one of the houses. So we had to then get a sewer diversion, so we had to go through the whole process of getting a Section 106 agreement with Thames Water to move it.
Nightmare.
So it took ages and ages. Took about 6 months in total to get that process done. But it's all been done and in place. But yeah, so I'd say those are the two most interesting ones.
Oh no, nightmare. God. Did that sort of prolong the programme a bit?
So it changed our programme slightly, so we couldn't do much on Block A, which are the two houses here, probably pushed it back a couple of months. We were able to switch over our build programme to concentrate on these other units while that was being done. We ended up sort of putting in the subfloor at the front of the houses, and we then went back and did those foundations to the rear of it once the sewer was actually in place.
Yeah.
Wow. So they're very prescriptive, Thames Water.
Yeah.
It takes ages, so you send them, try and phone them, they won't pick up the phone up. It'll be a week at least before you know. So it's a long period.
I know.
Everyone who works in property probably knows that it's infrastructure providers, they are difficult.
Notoriously difficult to work with. What's the next for you guys?
So
what do you have any? You must have other things in the pipeline.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, so we've got a few projects across Surrey which we're starting to build out. More locally, we're getting hopefully consent for 8 flats in Brixton, which should be coming through in the next few weeks. So hopefully be on site in that in the first half of next year. We've got I've got a couple of sites more local to me. So in Oxfordshire, I've got a site, and in Wiltshire, I've got another site. So really hoping that can expand our the areas we're building in, so it does cover the southeast of England. So it's exciting times. Yeah.
Exciting, yeah, very exciting. And yeah, just lastly, if you can, what's like one piece of advice you could give, like you a few years back, a new developer wanting to get into larger stuff? Is there a bit of advice you can give to some of the viewers?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I could give lots of advice about lots of things, but I think the main one, which I think a lot of people would overlook, when especially in your first project, you're probably going to be a bit short of money and everything's very tight. Don't skimp on your initial design and construction phase drawings and working with designers to get everything designed properly before you start building. I think a lot of mistakes that developers make, they'll rush on site. Well, I've got to get foundations in the ground immediately, then I'll do that, then I'll and the reality is that costs you more money and it takes longer. So if you can spend a bit more on some really good quality consultants and get that stuff sort of bottomed out before you start on site, you're laughing, you're going to save yourself more money, more cash, more time.
I 100% agree, but could you explain why specifically? Is it because you end up having to change things around a lot because they weren't thought about clearly ahead?
Exactly, yeah. So if you were instructing an architect for a scope of work to do some construction drawings, some developers say, right, we'll just get a set of building control drawings done. which is a basic set of plans and one section through the building essentially. What will happen on site? Your builder will say, the site manager will say, okay, so how do I actually build this? We've got no details. And then you go back to your architect, say, right, I'd like a detail of this, and it carries on and on. And eventually you have a knock-on effect where you won't have thought something through that's going to happen in 6 months' time, and you'll all of a sudden think, damn, I haven't got the space for the units if I wanted for my kitchen, for example.
Yeah.
And it all has a knock-on impact. So yeah, that's my bit of advice, I'd say.
Thank you, Chris, for showing us around your lovely development.
Thank you.
You've got one of them under offer.
Yep.
And hopefully you get the others under offer soon.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and it looks great. And I don't know, maybe once they're all properly done, maybe we can come back round and do another video. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Okay,
Be
great. Amazing. Thank you,
Thanks
Chris.
very
Cheers.
much.
Appreciate it.
Cheers. Thank you.
Wow, what an impressive site. Chris, Jason, and the rest of the team at Earlswood Homes have done a fantastic job, not only on the planning, but are also speeding through this development. Guys, that's the end of this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please like the video,
Back to the base.
subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you at the next one.